Hi friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, where today I am sharing two exciting things with you for 2025. The first thing is this beautiful brand new crocheted blanket that you are going to absolutely love. And the second thing is we're expecting again. So if you've been following along for a while, if you are following me on social media, specifically if you are on my email newsletter list, then there's probably been a couple of times where maybe you've thought, I wonder what she's referring to. Life's been a little bit crazy. There's been, times where I've gotten really behind in the past few months, and, for a good reason. I had some pretty serious morning sickness. I was not functioning on all cylinders for the past few months, and so I got really behind on pattern releases, and so that's why I've been playing catch up this past month and releasing patterns like crazy on my blog that have been out as Lion brand kits, because I just did not have the capacity to sit on my computer and get all of these things done outside of really what was necessary at the time. But I am past the halfway point. I'm feeling fantastic. I've got energy back, and yeah, I'm ready to go. So I'm finally sharing so that this way I could stop hiding the bump, because it's getting to where, I can't really hide it anymore. So, exciting things. New baby is joining the family in the spring, and now that I've officially announced, you'll be seeing the bump quite often, and I'll give you guys updates along the way for anybody who's interested. Okay, so back to what's really important, which is this brand new blanket that I have designed for 2025. So check this out. How pretty is that? So this blanket uses 9 skeins of Hue and Me and a 6mm hook. So I actually went down on this. If you watched my unboxing video from last month, then when I showed you guys this yarn, I was saying I thought I would go up and I had to do some test swatches, but the yarn would tell me. Believe it or not, when I started doing test swatches and I picked out this gorgeous stitch, I was like, you know what? It's got to be a smaller hook, because I really wanted to show off this stitch pattern, and it was so much better with a smaller hook. So this blanket is called the Crooked Clusters blanket. And that is because, if you could see, it is made with a whole bunch of double crochet stitches, but some of them are crooked, and they create these really nice diagonal clusters, and that is where the name came from. Oh, isn't it pretty? Look at this. Oh, I love it so much. This is a really simple repeat. I wrote the pattern in one size, but within the blog post and in today's step-by-step tutorial, I'm going to explain to you how it is that you can make your swatch and create any size blanket that you want for this pattern. But if you want to make this one, which it's huge, look at it, you will need 9 skeins of Lion Brand's Hue and Me in any color that you choose. This is the brand new color, which in my last video I kept calling the wrong name, and I'm scared I'm going to do it again, but it is called Pink Earth. Anyways, this blanket is huge. It's really big. It's really squishy. I love it. It's because I went with a smaller hook, the holes on this blanket are not huge. We are going to go through this row by row, step by step, and I will show you by making a little swatch how we create this gorgeous stitch pattern, and then you will be well on your way to making your very own Crooked Clusters blanket. Alright, so to start today's video tutorial, what you will need is a skein of Hue and Me and a 6mm crochet hook. Today we are working on the stitch repeat for the Crooked Clusters blanket, and we are going to make a nice little swatch so that this way you guys can get well on your way to creating your full-size Crooked Clusters blanket. This pattern is worked in a multiple of 10 plus 9. If you would like to create a different size, what you will do is create your swatch that we are making today in the video. You can then measure and weigh your yarn to figure out then how much yarn you use to create that swatch, and then you can extrapolate out to see what size you would like to make. All of this is explained in more detail in the blog post that is linked below. Please head on over there where you can get some more information on how to create any size blanket using the Crooked Clusters crochet stitch pattern. To start, I'm going to grab my yarn, create a slip knot, and I'm going to place it on my hook. Now, again, the multiple for this pattern is 10 plus 9. So I am going to begin by chaining 29. And what I'm going to do now is move on to the row 1 instructions. So row 1 says to double crochet in the 6th chain from the hook. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I am going to find my back bump because I prefer to work in the back bumps, insert my hook and place a double crochet. I am then going to chain 3, and I'm going to place 3 double crochet around the post of the double crochet that I just created. And that creates our first crooked cluster. I'm then going to skip 2 chains. So again, I will count from my back bumps, 1, 2, and I am going to double crochet in each of the next 5 chains, again, using the back bump. I will then skip the next 2 chains and place a double crochet in the back bump of the next chain. Chain 3, and place another 3 double crochet around the post of the last double crochet that I just created to create another crooked cluster. Skip the next 2 chains and then double crochet in each of the next 5 chains, again using the back bump. Skip 2 chains, double crochet in the back bump of the next chain, chain 3, and place another 3 double crochet around the post of the double crochet that was just created. Skip 2 chains and you will now have 1 chain remaining, and you will place a double crochet in the last chain. So that completes row 1 of the Crooked Clusters blanket. And so what you can see that you have here are these groups of double crochet stitches, and these ones sit on basically a 45-degree angle compared to the sets of 5 double crochet. So this is the foundation row. This is what's setting everything up. So you will start with a crooked cluster and you will end with a crooked cluster. So that is a good way to know if you are on the right track when you are making your first row in your blanket. If you don't end with this crooked cluster and a single double crochet, then you miscounted somewhere in here on your chain. Now, I like to work in the back bumps because if you can see here, it gives you this really nice finished edge as if it was the top of your work. So I would really, really encourage you to try working in the back bumps of your chain if you have not done that before. So let's move on to row 2. To start row 2, we will chain 5, and then we are going to single crochet in the chain 3 loop. We will then chain 2, skip the next double crochet, which is the double crochet that we worked around. So we're skipping that double crochet, and then we are going to double crochet in each of the next 5 double crochet. Chain 2, and then single crochet in the next chain 3 loop, chain 2, skip that double crochet that we worked around the 3 double crochet to create that crooked cluster. We're always going to skip that. And then we will single crochet in each of the next 5 double crochet. Chain 2, single crochet in the chain 3 loop, and then we are going to chain 2 and we are going to double crochet in the last chain from our foundation chain. Okay, and in the pattern I call that out as the third chain of the turning chain, because this is essentially the turning chain, and that would be the third chain of it. If once you get through the pattern, you'll see what I mean by that. But you're going to double crochet in that last chain. Moving on to row 3, we will chain 3, and we will place 2 double crochet in the chain 2 space. Double crochet in the single crochet, place 2 double crochet in the next chain 2 space, and then we are going to skip 2 double crochet in the next double crochet, so that is the center double crochet of the 5 double crochet below, chain 3, and then place 3 double crochet around the post of that last double crochet we just created. So that is creating our next crooked cluster. We will then skip the next 2 double crochet, place 2 double crochet around the chain 2, double crochet in the single crochet, double crochet around the next chain 2, skip 2 double crochet and double crochet in that third double crochet of that 5 that we created below, chain 3, 3 double crochet around the post of the last double crochet that was created, double crochet around the next chain 2, double crochet in the single crochet. So after we double crochet in the single crochet, this is where the pattern deviates just a little bit. So we are going to place 2 double crochet around this turning chain 5 from row 2. We then are going to place another double crochet in the third chain of the turning chain 5. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, and you can either pick up this back loop, or if you would like, you can just crochet around the whole turning chain again. I do recommend picking up that back loop just because it does make it a little bit, oops, I wasn't doing a double crochet. Double crochet in that third turning chain. I do like to actually pick up the turning chain because I do think that it creates a neater edge. So this deviates just slightly because all of the sets of double crochet within the blanket are all 5, right? These ones that are straight up and down, they're all 5. The end ones, we are going to end up with 6, okay? So then when we do row 4, we are going to chain 3, all right? And that is acting as a double crochet, but we're only going to double crochet in each of the next double crochets. So we're going to create 5 double crochet. So that turning chain 3, oh, I caught my yarn. That turning chain 3 is acting as a double crochet, but in the next row, row 4, you only create 5, but in row 3 below, you created 6. So that's the only spot where the pattern deviates a little bit and you have to be careful. And that is so that you can make a nice straight edge. See that? So chain 3, turn, 5 double crochet in each of the next 5 double crochet. We skip this one. And that is for the beginning of row 4. We will then chain 2, skip the 3 double crochets on the crooked clusters, and then we are going to single crochet in that chain 3 loop. Chain 2, and then double crochet in each of the next 5 double crochet. Again, making sure that you skip the one that we did before where we were working around the post. So 5 double crochet, chain 2, single crochet around the chain 3 loop, chain 2, place 5 double crochet in each of the next double crochet, and then you have to double crochet in the third chain of the turning chain from the previous row. Okay, so then you end with 6 double crochet. So this is what rows 1 through 4 look like so far. So every 2 rows, your crooked clusters are going to switch. Okay, so see how they're staggered? So rows 1 and 2, the crooked clusters, you had 3 of them here. Rows 3 and 4, your crooked clusters are now on top of the sets of 5 double crochet. So you lose one. So you have 3 here, and then you have 2, and now we're going to come up and we're going to create our next set of rows, which now you're going to again have the 3 sets of crooked clusters. So let's move on to row 5. So I'm going to turn my work, chain 3. So you skip the first 3 double crochet, and remember this is your first double crochet. So skip 1, 2, 3, and then come in to this next one, which is the center of the 5 double crochet, right? Those little clusters that we've been working in. So imagine that this one isn't here, right? Think of it as if you're working somewhere in the middle of the row. You have your 5. So you want 2 and 2 on each side. So we're going to double crochet in that center double crochet, chain 3, and then place 3 double crochet around the post of that double crochet that we just created. We will skip the next 2 double crochet, and then we are going to double crochet twice around the chain 2, double crochet in the single crochet, and then again place 2 double crochet around the chain 2. Skip 2 double crochet in the next double crochet, which is the center of the 5 double crochet, chain 3, place 3 double crochet around the post of the double crochet that we just created. Again, this is making another crooked cluster. Skip the next 2 double crochet and place 2 double crochet around the next chain 2. Double crochet in the single crochet, double crochet around the next chain 2 twice, skip 2 double crochet, and double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, and then we are going to place 3 double crochet around the post of the double crochet that we just created. Skip 2 double crochet and double crochet in the 3rd chain of the turning chain from the previous row. So that completes row 5. So you can see we now have another crooked cluster above each of these groups of the double crochet that goes straight up and down. So that is the entire repeat for this pattern. So after you complete row 5, you are going to be repeating rows 2 through 5 to continue with this pattern. So let's do a row 2 repeat so that this way we can get this edge finished off nice and you can see the pattern completed. So I'm going to turn and go back to the row 2 instructions, which say to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet in the next chain 3 loop, chain 2, skip the next double crochet, which is the one that we are using to create the crooked clusters, and then place 5 double crochet, 1 in each of the next 5 double crochet. Chain 2, single crochet in the chain 3, chain 2, place a double crochet in each of the next 5 double crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the chain 3 loop, chain 2, and then double crochet in the 3rd turning chain of the previous row. So 1, 2, 3, counting my back bumps, place a double crochet in that turning chain, and that's it. That completes the repeat for this pattern. Isn't it really pretty? So generally I use a larger hook with Hue and Me, but when I did this swatch, I went down because these nice tight stitches with this stitch pattern, it just looks great. I mean, I love it. It almost creates like a diamond pattern. It's really pretty. I hope that you really enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope that you really enjoy creating this pattern, and make sure that you like and share this video with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you do make this pattern, please tag me on social media at life.and.yarn. All right, guys, thank you so much for staying and hanging out with me today to make a nice little easy swatch of this blanket. I hope that this tutorial was helpful and that you are now able to successfully create this stitch pattern to make your very own Cricut Clusters blanket. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure that you follow along for the rest of my free crochet patterns that are coming for 2025. There are a lot of them. I have a lot planned. I am super excited, and I think that I've got some really good ones planned that you're gonna love.